What's up, YouTube? Today I will share with you my 5 goals for the next 12 months. I did a very similar video to this one year ago, but right now I think is an important time to set up new goals, and I think a lot of you guys will relate with those goals since most of us are trying to accomplish a lot of similar things. If in the end up enjoying this video, do not forget to leave a like, means a lot to me and is honestly one of the best ways to support my work. Apart from that, a lot of viewers are not even subscribers, so please consider to change that if you are in that position. Let's move on into the disclaimer. Will be a short one but a very important one. No financial advice, always do your own research, no one can predict the market, fundamentals are your best friend in the long run, and I feel like this market is a very good example of that. Keep in mind that I'm a collector first and an investor second. Any card I will show in this video or any video I can eventually be buying or selling. On the description you can find a eBay affiliate link that supports the channel. Same goes for Patreon, so any type of support, thank you so much. English, as you can see, not my main language, so any types of mispronunciations, I'm sorry for that. So like I was saying, 1 year ago I recorded this video, my 5 goals for the next 12 months. Today's video will be very similar. I already reacted to that old video, and I would say most of the goals I ended up setting 1 year ago, I end up reaching them. So I'm very happy with that. But today we make new goals. And the first one is a very interesting one, but I would say a very complex one even to explain. Number one, finding more unexplored markets, especially in pre-modern. What I mean with this? Well, let's start with some basic things. Soccer, in my perspective, is still a giant unexplored market, but is also a complex one to understand. So many countries have their own releases that makes the soccer diversity something amazing and something that can be actually bad if you are just starting right now on the market. What I mean with this? Look, if you collect basketball cards, I would say most of the key cards on the market are American releases. So in terms of research, things automatic get way easier than when it comes to soccer. For example, if you want to collect Benzema, you need to understand the French market. If you want to collect Cristiano Ronaldo, you need to understand the Portuguese market. And if you go to vintage, things can get even more complex. For example, Pelé have different releases in Brazil, have releases in Sweden because the World Cup on 58 was hosted there, and things can actually be special if you are starting, or even if you are in the hobby for 1 year, 2 years. This type of stuff, they take a lot of time to understand what's going on. Apart from that, in Argentina, for example, you have discs. In France, they love stickers. So things are honestly quite complex, and every country have their specific type of releases, but I believe a pre-modern grind leads to an explored markets, and you can apply this logic to vintage, maybe to ultra-modern. I would say that's more difficult, but even to vintage you can apply this logic. I'm just saying pre-modern because it's the market I enjoy the most. So, and sometimes even countries like France, where we kinda know the major releases, for example, Panini Foot or card games related with the league also, stuff like the McDonald's Benzema still surprise all of us. As you guys are aware at this point, since I've been talking quite a lot on my Discord and also on my YouTube, there is a new Benzema rookie. I'm talking about the one you guys are seeing on the screen. That card was released by Panini, but was released in McDonald's, I believe, for Happy Meal, so target to kids, but tends to be a sticker, at least for now, and things can change in the future, that is quite difficult to find in the market. And look, I've been grinding the French market for so many years at this point, and I still end up getting surprised by this one. Was actually a viewer, not a viewer, I'm sorry, was actually a member of my Discord and ended up sharing one that bought for $1, and I was like, wait, what is this? And after grinding the market a little bit more with other collectors on the Discord server, we end up realizing, you know what, this is actually a rookie. It's crazy that we did not know about this one for so many time. What ended up changing, honestly, to, I think you guys understand, Benzema started playing at Ballon d'Or level, so most likely Benzema will win the best player in the world. I believe it's September when they will host the event, and people start looking more and more into the Benzema market. So more cards end up appearing, but this shows, in my perspective, opportunity on the market. So again, I believe and this is my personally belief, in 5, 10 years, with so many people searching for new stuff right now, because our market is at all time highs, I'm sorry, in terms of research. There is a lot of people grinding the Belgian market, the Netherlands market, the Portuguese market. So expect new things to come into the market, and I'm talking vintage and pre-modern, of course, and maybe even some modern. A lot of players will have new rookies or early cards or relevant cards. So, and most likely that new card can become the card. I think Benzema going to that, and full disclosure, I just have one Benzema Panini McDonald's. That Benzema card can actually be the best card for Benzema right now. Why? Well, when you look at the alternatives, you have the double certificate card that is actually quite common. Maybe condition rare it could be a thing for that one, or at least seems like is a thing for that one. Then you have Panini Foot that in terms of lineage is great, but seems not super rare, and even the tens are going up right now. So if you want something that is a little bit more unique, if you want something that can potentially have some type of true rarity or strong rarity, better saying, the McDonald's cards can actually be the card, and more people are realizing that right now. So I found the Benzema McDonald's card and the Buffon Japanese version, another card that I've been trying to grind that market more, because I love Buffon, and for a long time I thought, you know what, the Panini Calciatore is honestly condition rarity. Then one of my members on Patreon ended up sharing with me um, that Japan ended up having a release that is quite more difficult to find than the Italian one, and I love that type of stuff because. And this will be another goal related on this video, but I like much more strong rarity, some type of true rarity, than I like condition rarity. So for me, that Benzema makes a lot of sense. That Buffon, and I think the Buffon probably is a little bit more common than the Benzema, but only time will tell. But also makes a lot of sense for me when you compare with the typical Panini Calciatore release in Italy, because I think the Japanese one is quite more rare and is unique. And another card that you guys are seeing on the screen that I was actually debating yesterday on my Discord that some people may think is fake, and I'm not sure. I don't own any, by the way, is Modric 2006 Navarrete. For long time, people had no idea there was a second year card, in this case a rookie sticker, let's say, for Modric with Croatia, but seems like there was actually a release in Peru. So you guys can see how crazy is this type of stuff. Look at those three cards, and full disclosure, I have two of those. But look at those three cards. We have a card from Peru for a player, for Modric, a Croatian player. Then we have Benzema McDonald's Panini sticker, and then we have a Italian, supposedly Italian rookie that was released in Japan. I think this is actually quite amazing if you guys think about it. You can say, oh man, that's complex. Well, like I was saying at the beginning of my presentation, yes, it's complex, but in the other end, you can see there is a lot of opportunities. 1 year from now, probably those will not be the three guys you guys are seeing on the screen. There is a likely scenario more people end up finding, I'm putting a crazy, maybe Pirlo new rookie, maybe Tony Kroos new rookie. That type of stuff can in my perspective, be a thing, because I honestly believe the soccer card market is very unexplored, and since I love the grind, this is one of my goals. Try to find new stuff. Try to enter an explored market like those three cards you guys are seeing on the screen. So complex goal for sure, but I think is and again, I never try to give you, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to. This is the correct way. Honestly, on this channel, my main goal is always trying to push critical thinking. Look, what I do works for me, but maybe approach the market in a different way. But as long I can push some type of critical thinking, some type of talk, put you thinking about this type of stuff. Basically, for me, that means the world. So, my second goal, dollar cost averaging, that will lead into more consolidation. I will not explain again, because I have a video for this, about dollar cost averaging. This is something you need to understand as soon as possible, to be fair. but I believe a lot in that. And with that in mind, I need to keep buying and selling no matter the state of the market. I was actually doing some research in other markets, since I also invest in the crypto market, not a lot to be fair, and in the stock market. And some people tend to say that dollar cost averaging is the solution for most of the problems when it comes to value investing. And I believe in that also quite a lot. Like I said, I made videos about this, just search on my YouTube channel and you find a lot of stuff related with this. And the dollar cost averaging, in my perspective, can lead you into consolidation. I still have a crazy number of cards at PSA, SGC, I would say those quite recently, and BGS. From the 200 copies, to be fair, even more, that I sent to PSA, maybe only 10 to 20% will stay with me at the end of the day. So the others will keep my cash flow going. The final goal is always consolidation, and I know a lot of you guys share this perspective with me. Consolidation for me may be different for you. I know people that are trying to consolidate in the PSA 6 or PSA 7 Pele, Alifa, Bologet. I'm not in that level, so for me consolidation will be in a different scale. For example, I have a Zinedine Zidane Panini Foot PSA 5. Maybe I try to consolidate that PSA 5 into a PSA 7, into a BGS 8. I don't know, putting random stuff out there, as you can imagine, but you guys get the point. I'm always trying to consolidate. For example, I have a couple of Messi inserts grading at PSA right now. I have a couple of Calcio cards at SGC. Most of those cards, unless they get 10s or 9s, I will not keep them. I will keep moving those and move into things that I believe have strong rarity, into things that I believe more. And sometimes I also love to sell duplicates, but this is a very personal thing. I do not like duplicates a lot as a collector. For me, and I said this in my last podcast, my ultimate goal will be just have one copy of every card that I feel is important. As an investor, this is probably an awful take because certain cards have so fundamentals are so good for certain cards that probably makes a lot of sense for you to have multiple and multiple copies. As a collector, I don't see things that way, so I have conflict feelings on this topic, to be fair, and it's something that I'm still trying to figure out. So, when I say I sell duplicators, could be a 5 card or a $100 card, do not matter. The most important thing is dollar cost averaging my investing into the soccer card market and keep selling and buying into more consolidation. So, very easy goal to understand. I strongly believe this will be a goal that I will reach, since I'm already doing stuff. I'm already working on this stuff right now, and I think this is, again, no financial advice, but this is something that you guys also should take a look. Dollar cost averaging and more consolidation. So number three, but before I go into the number three, there is a couple of things I need to share with you. So, if you guys are not aware, I have a Patreon community where I put videos every week. And in this case, I put a new video on Wednesday and the extra audio on Saturday. The video on Wednesday is actually a Q&A. So, if you have questions for me about the market, about basically as long as related with the soccer card market, everything is allowed. You can put that on the Patreon community, and I make a video on Wednesday answering all the questions. I already end up answering more than 300 questions in the last couple of months, so I think that's a crazy number, to be fair. The last Q&A was the Q&A number 56, so if you join the Patreon right now, you automatically have access to 56 new videos that you do not find on this YouTube channel, but they are on the Patreon community. And as you can see, I'm talking about different topics on the market. Messi and Ronaldo basically them stopping the career and the impact on their market, World Cup hype versus bear markets right now. So a lot of important things if you want to be engaged with the soccer card market. Link below the video if you want to join the Patreon. The Patreon is around $10. That could be a lot of money to you, and if that's the case, totally fine. One thing that is free is actually my Discord. We are more than 500 members and we are growing quite fast. And I think that's an amazing place to learn and share about the card market. Like I was saying, I was debating the Modric 2006 Navarrete card with my members there. And there is a lot of great talk and I end up learning stuff because it seems like that card could be fake. I'm not sure yet. That's why we are grinding the market. So consider to join the Discord, consider to join the Patreon. Both links are below the video. Let's go into the my goal number 3, and looking, and this is actually an interesting one, looking at modern high-end and pre-war, so almost both spectrums on the market. In other hand, I want to look at very old thing, and in the other side I'm going to the ultra modern side of the market, in this case high-end. Let me say one thing, very different markets, but I think honestly both are great. I have been doing a lot of research for both markets. It's not something that I end up thinking all of a sudden. And I think both of markets have a lot of potential. But to be fair with you guys, this could be the goal, that I would not be surprised 1 year from now I'm reacting to this video and I will go, you know what, and I'm failing this one. I'm just grinding normal vintage, I'm just grinding pre-modern, because those are the markets that I tend to enjoy the most, especially pre-modern, since I love to connect my investment with memories, if that makes sense, with players that I remember very well, that I relate with their careers. That being said, pre-war seems like a very interesting market. I have a couple of cars, nothing too crazy to be fair. It's not a market that I'm invested by any means, but it's a market that, since I love the history of soccer, I can see myself going into a crazy rabbit hole and spending a lot of time, and with that a lot of money on pre-war. So I will take a look for sure. Can I fail this goal? I think so, but at least at the time I'm recording this video, I'm very interested on pre-war. Same goes for sets like Flawless, Eminence. Keep on thinking in mind, those are already quite expensive, and if you want to buy a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Messi, those are probably out of the question. I don't even think about those. But then there is other legendary players that are still very obtainable in my perspective, that may still present a lot of opportunity. So we will see. This is the goal that I think there is a likely scenario I will fail, but I still think is a goal that I at least should have in mind, should consider to learn more. So, moving on into the number 4, and again, another interesting one, trying to focus more on true rarity and less condition rarity, less manufacturer scarcity, or in this case, manufacturer rarity. So I automatically am contradicting myself on this one, because I was saying looking at Flawless, and this is of course manufacturer rarity. Manufacture, people call this fake scarcity, fake rarity, and honestly, people are not wrong on that front. But I still think certain sets, they are special, and I think Flawless could be a very good example of that. I'm not even a crazy fan of Flawless, but what I like versus what other people like is two different things. And sometimes, as an investor, you need to like what other or at least you need not like. You need to invest in what other people like, and Flawless could be a very good example of that for me in particular. So let's focus on the number 4. I understand that condition rarity will always be a thing, even if I try to avoid at all costs. A lot of cars in pre-modern have insane low pops, so people tend to say, oh, pre-modern have no true rarity or strong rarity, because true rarity is always difficult to define. But I honestly disagree with that. I mean, if you look at the Zlatan Ibrahimovic rookie, if you look at the Van Basten rookie, those cars are insanely difficult to find, at least in my perspective. But a lot of people, when they think about pre-modern, they just think about Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and I would agree with most people that say those cards, they are condition rarity, and they lack strong rarity, because I also agree with that. That being said, in a macro perspective, if the market keeps growing, this perspective can change, because if you compare Cristiano Ronaldo cards, for example, with LeBron James, and I understand our market is quite different, but we are still, pops are still quite low. Again, our market is also quite smaller, so that's why I'm saying most of the Messi cards, Cristiano Ronaldo cards, talking about pre-modern of course, are condition rarity. But even on those markets there is exceptions, so this is a complex topic again. For example, the Mundichrome card for Lionel Messi is very easy to find, to be fair, but if you look at the ST sticker, it's quite more difficult to find. Same logic goes actually for Cristiano Ronaldo. The Cristiano Ronaldo cards, again, is quite more easy to find than the sticker. I understand there is a lot of controversy going around with the Cristiano Ronaldo sticker and even the Messi sticker, since there is a couple of fakes on eBay, etc. But putting that aside, and if you just focus on PSI, to be fair, those are still very difficult to find in my perspective. I believe the pop for both Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi sticker, both have pops lower than 200 copies. And if you think about the demand those two players have, that seems a very interesting place to take a look at least. So a good example of this, the strong rarity in pre-modern could be Ibrahimovic and Van Basten. But there is much more than those. I mean, David Beckham shreddies. I mean, there is so many examples. The headshot for Iniesta, the Panini sticker for Xavi, even the Xavi Panini cards tend to be quite difficult to find. So saying that pre-modern is only condition rarity in my perspective, is not correct. Saying that pre-modern have a lot of conditional rarity, I would agree. That's why I'm saying this is a goal for me, moving more from conditional rarity to actually true rarity, to actually, and special if that true rarity is organic scarcity. So modern with serial number cards creates strong rarity and a lot of cards. I'm sorry, I'm not sure why I end up typing there. So let's start off the beginning. Modern with serial number cards creates strong rarity for a lot of cards, and I think you guys agree with me. That being said, I believe long run the idea of organic scarcity will become more and more important, more and more relevant, because I honestly believe a lot in never meant to be. In this case, never meant to be valuable, because those cards, I'm talking about, for example, the Van Basten rookie. The Van Basten rookie was meant to be collected, but at the time, people did not thought about any type of value investing for stickers. That will be completely crazy at the time. But right now, with time, with organic scarcity, with the market growing, those stickers, those cards are quite important for the pre-modern market. So this is something that I think is historic. This is something that I appreciate a lot. Something that was never meant to be, and right now is actually quite important. That's why I was saying there is a likely scenario I fail a goal, especially for ultra modern, because I understand a completely different market, but flawless was already meant to be expensive, was already meant to be something that people could potentially invest. And again, fake scarcity, manufactured scarcity, I'm always a little bit afraid, since I do not believe a lot in that type of stuff. That being said, I also understand certain sets, they defy the odds, if that makes sense. My final goal, and this is the one you can help me to be fair, is the growth of my community, is the growth of my YouTube channel, because if my YouTube channel keeps growing, there is a likely scenario I can keep making even more content. So right now I have 1.8k subscribers. My goal will be 2.5k, and I think this will be a difficult one, since I've been noticing that I'm not getting a lot of new subscribers recently. So when I started my YouTube channel, I went very fast to 1k, but right now I'm seeing a slow increase in terms of people following my channel. I think that's normal. I think also the market is in a downtrend. My videos, they still do very well, to be fair, so I still feel I have a strong community, but of course I want to grow the community even more. 2.5k is a difficult goal, but like I said, you can help me. If you are part of the viewers that are not subscribers, consider to subscribe. So that's on the YouTube channel. On the Discord side, we are close to 600 members, but again, the Discord is also growing a little bit slower if I compare with, for example, 2-3 months ago, which I think is also normal. But my goal in 1 year from now will be to have at least 1k, and I think both are difficult, but both are very obtainable. So consider to join both, because again, both are free, so why not? And yeah, those are my 5 goals. I have nothing to say. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video basically. I think it's fun to share with you what I'm thinking about the market, what will be my goals for the next 12 months. Of course, like I said, maybe I will fail a couple of them. I think this is a very likely one, especially on the high end side. But putting things out there does not hurt, and I think kind of holds me accountable, if that makes sense. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do not forget to leave a like. Do not forget to subscribe like I was saying. Check the Patreon, check the Discord, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.